Hi team, let us learn soft skills. This is Sita Lakshmi Shivakumar, psychologist and corporate trainer. We must understand the difference between knowledge and skill. Why we have to understand? Because most of the time people think that they know everything as far as skills are concerned, but what they have is only knowledge that get them into trouble. When they know the difference between skill and knowledge, people will be able to understand where they stand. So let us try to understand the difference between these two. Now the first difference is, okay, skill. Skill, it is the ability to perform a task effectively. For example, you can see here, a person is making something, isn't it? Now, this is a skill. Now, suppose somebody is making a pot using mud, okay? That is a skill. It is a task. The task has to be done perfectly. So, the ability to perform the task effectively is called skill. For example, typewriting, that is a skill. Swimming is a skill. Riding a cycle is a skill. Writing a program is a skill. So there are many types of skills, okay, that qualifies as the ability to perform a task effectively. What is knowledge? Knowledge is just information, facts, and concepts a person knows. For example, suppose if you are a psychologist, you know that eye to eye connect is required in counseling. You know that. That means you are having knowledge. But that has to be practiced when you are giving counseling. If you practice it, then that becomes a skill. Suppose, for example, you know that to create rapport in counseling, you need to smile. You have to create a safe space for the client to share the things openly. There are various steps in rapport building. Now, if you know the information, that is knowledge. But if you know how to create rapport practically, that is a skill. Most of the time, the students, particularly those who are studying in first year or second year, they tell that, I know rapport building. When you say I know rapport building, what you refer is the knowledge. Only when you start doing it, that becomes a skill. So when students say, sir, I know rapport building skills, I used to ask the students, okay, how many students are in your class? They will say, sir, 35 students. Okay, with how many students you are having very good friendship? They will tell, sir, 3 people, sir. If you are very good in rapport, all the 35 students should be your friends. So that means I am not practicing rapport. I know only the knowledge. So we have to go to the level of skill from the knowledge. So knowledge is essential first. From knowledge, we have to go to the skill level. Now the second aspect is, skill is a practical and action oriented. For example, you will jump in the water and you will swim, action oriented. Whereas knowledge, it is theoretical. So the theoretical aspect is, suppose if at all you want to learn cycling, now the father would have told you, keep the handlebars tight, look straight. Like that, whatever he tells now, that is theoretical. But skill means actually you are pedaling, you are holding the handlebar, you are going. That is practical. So skill is practical, whereas knowledge is just theoretical. The next one is, skill is acquired through practice, experience, and repetition. So for example, a student who is studying in first year or second year in counseling, they might have not done any counseling. But they may say that, sir, I know rapport building skills. So when they mean, what they mean is they have the knowledge. That is, they have learned it, they are studying, they are reading, and they are maybe in third year, they may be observing. but they are not practicing. They are not experiencing. So a client is sitting in front of you and you start talking with him. Means you are experiencing. So that is what skill. So skill is practice and experience, whereas knowledge is learning and studying. Now the very important aspect is skill. It is like speaking a language. Suppose I'm speaking with you in English. This is a skill. Suppose if I know knowledge, that is noun, verb, those things are called knowledge. Suppose tomorrow you are going to learn spoken English somewhere. If they start training you about noun, verb, adverb, adjective, actually they do not know anything about spoken English. Spoken English, first we have to train certain techniques. See, for example, a child, when you were a child, when you were growing, whether you started talking after learning a verb, a noun, adverb, or you started talking without knowing all these things. You do not know all these things, but you started talking, isn't it? So, to talk in English, the grammar is not required. That is, knowledge is not required. Practice is required. The child starts practicing, isn't it? So, skill means skill. The example is speaking a language, and the knowledge means knowing the grammatical aspects. Now, let me tell you one of the very, very important definition and how that we can characterize the skill and the knowledge. Skill is when you learn something, when you use your entire system, your entire body and your entire mind. For example, you are learning swimming. When you are learning swimming, suppose if you are having 102 fever, whether you will be able to learn, your body will not cooperate with you, isn't it? Suppose you want to learn swimming, but you don't like it. Your father says, go and learn swimming. Whether you will go? No. So 100% mind, 100% body, when it cooperates only, you will be able to learn swimming, or you will be able to learn cycling, or any skill for that matter. But for knowledge, only brain is enough. Now, let me ask you a very simple question now, okay, to make you understand this. For example, cycling. When is that you learned cycling? You may be telling, sir, when I was studying in 4th standard, I learned cycling, or 5th standard. Suppose, for example, if you are studying in graduation now, okay, if I ask you, what is the 5th lesson in mathematics? Whether you will be able to tell, you may not be able to tell. Suppose, for example, you are in 12th now. If I ask you, in 5th standard, mathematics, what was the 12th lesson? Will you be able to tell? You may not be able to tell. Whereas, in 2nd standard, you learned cycling. If I give cycle now, you will be able to write it. What you learned in 2nd standard is skill. That is, you applied your total self and you learned it. So that is skill that you will never forget in your life. Whereas, what you learned in 12th standard, or what you learned, if I ask about 9th standard, 5th lesson in science, that is knowledge. You used only brain. Okay. So, skill you will never forget, and knowledge you will forget. As far as skill is concerned, first it will start in conscious level. Okay, there are competence. There are two types of competence. The competence is called unconscious competence and conscious competence. For example, first time when you start learning to cook chicken biryani, okay, what will happen is you will measure and take. Your mother will tell, take this much, take this much. You will be learning by measuring it. But whether your mother, when she prepares chicken biryani, whether she measures it? No, nah. The simple aspect is, for the mother, it is unconscious competence. For you, it is conscious competence. So from conscious competence, you have to move to unconscious competence. From conscious competence, if at all you want to move to unconscious competence, you should practice, you should experience, and you should repeat it. So that is the key to go from conscious competence to unconscious competence. That is applicable to learning cycling, that is applicable to learning swimming, that is applicable to learning counseling skills, that is applicable to learning spoken English or spoken Hindi or spoken Malayalam or spoken Kannada. For all these things, from conscious competence to unconscious competence, if at all you want to move, you have to practice. and you have to experience it and you have to repeat it. So team, hope you are able to understand the difference between skill and knowledge. And if you have any doubt, my number is given below. You can text me. Okay. And like this, we are going to put many videos regarding soft skills, regarding counseling, and regarding spoken English. So subscribe to the channel. Visit our website www.emocare.co.in. We are conducting many training programs. We are the only people in India to have 3,000 plus 5 stars in Google, and we are India's first chain of counseling center. And this is Sita Lakshmi Shivakumar signing off from you. Thank you.